Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lab experiment number 10, neutral grounding of synchronous generator through grounding transformer. In this experiment, student will study how we can insert a resistance or impedance in neutral circuit of a generator to limit the fault current. This time grounding will be done through a grounding transformer. The impedance, resistance or reactance will be inserted on the secondary side of this grounding transformer, which is actually a step down transformer. Its primary voltage is rated either equal or greater than the line to neutral voltage of the synchronous generator, and secondary voltage is rated normally at either 120, 240 or 480 volt. So in this way that will become our distribution transformer, where the high voltage side will be in the range of distribution primary voltage and low voltage side will be distribution utilization voltage level. Then a resistance or reactance will be inserted on the secondary side of this distribution transformer or grounding transformer, and this method is used to limit the fault current. And then as fault current will become very small due to insertion of this high impedance in this neutral circuit, so it is not possible or very difficult to detect the ground fault by measuring or by monitoring the fault current in phases, these three phases, phase A, B, C. So we can provide a very effective and yet very sensitive protection by inserting a over voltage relay across this resistance, which will respond to the voltage which will appear in case of a line to ground fault. Here is the circuit that student will implement in the lab. We have a DC variac to run the DC motor, which will act as a prime mover for the generator. Here we have a 3-phase AC synchronous generator. This synchronous generator requires a DC supply across its field winding, that is for excitation, and it will induce an EMF across the three phases, phase A, B, C. And between neutral and ground we have this grounding transformer, primary of the grounding transformer. On the secondary side we have inserted a grounding resistance RG. The value of this resistance is selected in such a way that it would limit the fault current in case of line to ground fault in this range, 10 ampere to 35 ampere. This is the range in which fault current will vary, and according to the required value of current we insert the resistance on the secondary side of this transformer. Here for the laboratory experiment, this fault neutral current for which we perform the experiment is given here in this table. Student will design the value of secondary resistance that will give us a neutral current of 0.2 ampere, 0.3, 0.4 and 0.5 ampere. So these are the voltage rating of the secondary voltage of that grounding transformer, and primary is rated at 220 volt. So for different value of secondary side voltage, for fixed primary voltage, student will calculate the value of resistance to be inserted on the secondary side of this grounding transformer to limit the fault current to these values. Here is the detail of connection, how the students are going to use available equipment in the lab to implement this circuit in the lab. This is setup for experiment number 10, neutral grounding of synchronous generator through grounding transformer. Here few instructions are required in order to connect the circuit. I will give you those instructions. Students will follow these instructions to connect the circuit. Here to operate the generator, here we have a DC motor that will work as prime mover for this synchronous generator. This DC motor will be connected in shunt configuration that require a DC supply for its operation. To operate this DC motor, here we have AC supply. So that will be rectified with the help of this rectifier available in this setup. So here this AC supply will be applied across the input. Then here at the output DC is available for armature. This is armature of the motor, and then same AC will be used over here. With the help of these short connectors we will connect this point with this and this point over here, and then take DC from here, that will be for field winding. So that will be connected across the field of this DC motor. So with increase in this voltage we can control the speed of this DC motor. So voltage will be increased up to this marking over here. We have already calibrated when voltage will be AC voltage will be up to this level. This DC motor will rotate at speed 1500 rpm, which will give us at output frequency of the generator equal to 50 Hz, because this is a 4-pole synchronous generator. Next, here for the production of the voltage across the winding of this synchronous generator, we need excitation. So here is the excitation winding, field winding of the generator. So that requires DC supply as well. So here is another AC variac. Output of this AC variac will be applied across this rectifier, and here from the output of this rectifier we supply DC to the excitation circuit of this synchronous generator over here. And here with increase in excitation, voltage will build across the 3-phase winding. So these are the red, yellow, blue phases, and here is a neutral point. Next is we are going to connect the neutral of this generator to ground through grounding transformer. Here this transformer will be used as grounding transformer. So it has two available rating at primary side, 220 and 240. On secondary side, number of taps available to get 160 volt, 180, 200, 220, 240. And between these two consecutive taps, we can see here difference of voltage is 20. So we can get 20 volt between these, 40 volt between these, 60 over here, 80 over here, or 160, 180, 200 like this. Now students will connect the primary and secondary according to the instruction given in the manual. So that is the neutral. Here is the transformer, and we treat this point as ground. Okay. So this will be the ground. So it means between this ground point and the neutral of the generator, primary of transformer will be inserted. On the secondary side, we insert a resistance with the help of a rheostat, and we insert our voltage relay. So our voltage relay is available here, and this voltage relay will control the operation of the circuit breaker, as mentioned in a separate video about the operation of circuit breaker. Next is we want to insert a line to ground fault on phase A. To do that, first we connect the 3 phases red, yellow, blue at the input of the circuit breaker, and then from phase A that will be connected over here at this point. So that is for phase A, because a switch is available over here that will make the phase A connection with the ground. When we turn the switch on, so that is equivalent to a line to ground fault on the generator terminal, because we have already declared this point as earth. So here we have connected phase A. By switching this on, we have inserted a line to ground fault on the generator terminal. So in order to measure the voltage induced across the generator, so here use line to line voltage from the input of the circuit breaker, where we have connected the output of this synchronous generator. So between line 1 and 2, or between 1 and 3, it is up to students. Measure the line to line voltage. So apply this voltage across this voltmeter, point 1 and 2. So this voltmeter will show us a line to line voltage. So requirement is we will build 220 volt line to neutral, that is equivalent to under root 3 times 220. So under root 3 times 220 would appear over here, that is equivalent to 220 across the terminal of this generator. So voltage can be built with the help of this excitation, and frequency of this voltage should be equal to 50 Hz, that we have already set by controlling the speed of this DC shunt motor, and speed will be set up to this level. We increase the voltage of AC up to this level, speed will automatically become 1500 rpm, which will produce 50 Hz frequency at the output of this generator. The rest is the job of the student to connect the circuit according to the given instruction in the manual. One student will connect the circuit, they will show the circuit to the instructor, and after getting permission from the instructor, they will run this motor, apply the voltage across this field winding, build the voltage across this 3-phase synchronous generator winding. So that voltage will be 220. Now let's see how we are going to design the value of this resistance, which will be inserted on the secondary side of this transformer. So I have already mentioned that voltage rating of primary winding of this grounding transformer should be either equal or greater than this line to neutral voltage of the generator. In our laboratory experiment, the rated voltage of the generator phase is 220 volt, and same is the case here. We will use the primary winding rating equal to 220. Secondary side may have different values. Practically I have said that it could be 120, 240 or 480 volt, but in laboratory experiment student will use these voltage for the secondary winding: 20 volt rating, 40 volt, 60 volt and 80 volt. Now let's assume the secondary voltage has been selected to 20 volt. In this way the transformer ratio will become 220 over 20 and result will be 11. So this is the transformer ratio 11. This transformer is stepping down the voltage by 11 times. Now what should be the value of resistance to be inserted in the secondary circuit so that it will limit the fault current? For example, in this situation I will assume that I want a fault current equal to 0.5. So if we want to limit the fault current IF to 0.5 ampere, what should be the value in this circuit? So here the calculations are simple. When a line to ground fault occurs across the terminal of the generator, so this point and this ground, total voltage will appear across this primary transformer will be equal to the voltage across this phase line to neutral, that will be 220. So that is the fault voltage. We can write it as VF. In case of line to ground fault will be 220. In this particular condition, the rating of primary of this transformer and the fault voltage both are same. It could be different because the rating of this grounding transformer primary side should be either equal or greater than that. If it is greater than that, then definitely the volt VF and the rating of this transformer primary voltage will be different. So this is the VF. We want a current of 0.5 ampere in the neutral circuit against this voltage. How much should be the impedance in this path? So that is resistance on the primary side of this transformer, or you can say if we directly insert that resistance between neutral and ground, that will be equal to VF our I ground current or IF. So that is equal to 220 over 0.5. So that will become 440 ohm. 440 must be inserted between neutral and ground. But here we have used a grounding transformer. Impedance will be connected on the secondary side of this transformer. Our resistance is going to be connected on the secondary side of this step down transformer. So here resistance on the secondary side that is to be inserted, we call it Rg, is equal to primary resistance divided by square of the turn ratio. So that would be 440 divided by 11 square. If we solve this, Rg value will be 3.64 ohm. So this is our calculated value of Rg. Now I am going to explain it again. If we insert 3.64 ohm here at this location, that is the secondary side of this grounding transformer which is rated at 20 volt, then this value 3.64 will appear as 440 ohm on the primary side of this transformer, so which is actually the connection between neutral and ground. In case of a line to ground fault at the terminal A, due to this high 440 ohm resistance in this path, current that will flow will be 0.5 ampere. So this is how we can calculate the value of resistance to be inserted on the secondary side of this grounding transformer, which will limit the current according to our required value. So this is how the first step will be done by the student to fill out this table. For different values of the secondary voltage and the fault current, they will calculate the resistance value. The generic formula has also been given over here. This is the formula to calculate the value of Rg. IF is known to us, VF is known to us. We will calculate the turn ratio, that is N stand for here, the transformer ratio, multiplied by Rg. So we can solve this equation for this unknown value of Rg if IF and VF is given to us. So here VF is taken as primary voltage. Once student will calculate the value of resistance to be inserted on the secondary side of this grounding transformer, next we will see how to detect the fault. Look at this fault current. this fault current is very small. Even in power system we have seen that the grounding impedance is designed in such a way that it will limit the fault current from 10 ampere to just 35 ampere. That is not very high current. So that is not easily detectable with the help of overcurrent relay connected here in the phase circuit. So to detect a ground fault, we will use this mechanism. Here we have used an over voltage relay across this grounding resistance that we have inserted across the secondary of this grounding transformer. Now let's see how this will work. In case of a line to ground fault at the terminal of this winding, full line to neutral voltage will appear across the primary of this grounding transformer here in this polarity plus minus. So that voltage will be stepped down by this grounding transformer according to its transformation ratio. For example, in this particular condition, the primary is rated at 220, secondary is 20 volt. So here if fault occurs here, the 20 volt will appear across the secondary. If we set our current relay to detect that voltage 20 volt that would be here in case of fault, then we can detect the grounding of the fault, because in case of healthy condition no current will be here through this circuit, because we are assuming that system is perfectly balanced, or very little leakage current will be there. So that will result a very little voltage to appear across this RG resistance during normal operating condition. We can set the pickup value at 2 times of that value to make sure that relay is not tripping during the normal condition. When a line to ground fault occurs, so voltage will appear and our voltage relay would sense this fault. We know that the induced voltage across the winding of a generator is uniformly distributed all across the winding. So this is across each turn we have voltage that get added up to have the net voltage between the terminal at up to the neutral point. So if a fault occurs, let's say exactly at the midpoint of the generator winding gets short circuited with the ground at the midpoint of the winding. So between this neutral point and the midpoint, the fault point, the voltage will be VA N over 2, half of the rated voltage of that winding. So that voltage, for example, in this particular example we get only 110 volt across the primary of this transformer. This 110 will give us 10 volt on the secondary side, and relay would be set to very low value, maybe 1 volt or 2 volt, which can easily detect this 10 volt and respond to operate the circuit breaker or activate an alarm. This is how our voltage relay can sense the fault. Similarly, if let's say if ground fault has occurred at the 25% of the total winding from the neutral, here let's say, then the voltage between neutral and that faulty point will be VN over 4. So that would be here 55 volt. It will produce on the secondary side according to the turn ratio just 5 volt. Even then this fault can be detected. So this is how our voltage relay in the secondary circuit of this grounding transformer can detect a ground fault. If we look at the requirement given in the manual, we will have to set the pickup of this relay in such a way that it should provide protection up to the 90% of the generator winding. Now here I will explain what is meant by this 90% of the generator winding. Let's assume this grounding transformer turn ratio is 220 volt to 20 volt, and here we have the grounding resistance inserted on the secondary side. If we set the pickup setting of this relay, V pickup or V set equal to 20 volt, let's see how much portion of this winding will be protected by this setting of this over voltage relay. If the generator winding is rated at 220 volt as well, in case of a line to ground fault at the 100% full winding, mean terminal of the winding, full 220 voltage will appear across the primary of this grounding transformer. That will give us 20 volt on the secondary side. So we can say here VF on the secondary side of this transformer will be equal to 20 volt, which is exactly equal to V set, which is a pickup of the voltage relay. How much time this relay would take to operate? We know that when the fault voltage is equal to the pickup value of the relay is not going to trip, or it will take infinite time to trip. So it means according to this setting 0% of winding is protected because fault has occurred and this relay setting are so high that it is not detecting that fault at all. So let's make the adjustment, and second case, make the Vset equal to 10 volt. Vset is equal to 10 volt. Let's see its impact. Now in case of a fault at the terminal of this winding of the generator, we get 220 volt across the primary of this grounding transformer, 20 on the secondary, and V fault, yes, Vf on the secondary would be equal to 20 volt. The relay would respond to this fault and open the circuit breaker. Yes, fault has been detected. Let's say fault has occurred at 75% of the winding, somewhere here. So 75% of the voltage will be available between neutral and fault point. And how much will be that? That is 165. So 165 volt, and on the secondary side we get 15 volt. 15 volt is still above the pickup setting. Relay would operate for this fault. It means yes, if fault occurs up to 75%, relay can provide protection. Now if fault move to the midpoint here, then the voltage from this terminal up to the fault point will be the 110 volt because it is exactly the midpoint. Against this 110 volt, secondary voltage will be 10 volt, which is exactly equal to the pickup setting. So it means relay is not going to operate because the fault voltage available across this grounding resistance and the set voltage both are equal. So it means if fault occurs at this midpoint here, the relay is not going to operate for this fault. If the fault moves from midpoint towards main terminal of the winding, voltage will exceed from 110 and this Vf secondary would increase above the 10 volt and fault will be detected by the relay. But if fault will move here in this direction towards the neutral, then for each fault which will be below this midpoint up to the neutral point, voltage across the resistance would be less than 10 volt, and relay would consider this condition as normal condition because voltage is less than the pickup value. So here we can conclude for 20 volt setting of the relay, we have seen that nothing of the winding was protected by this setting. But if we reduce the voltage to 10 volt, then yes, all the fault from the terminal of this winding up to the midpoint, all these fault would be detected by the relay. But if fault will move from midpoint towards the neutral, fault anywhere across this portion, that would not result in sufficient voltage across this grounding resistance to be detected by the relay because its setting is equal to 10 volt. So that fault would not be detected. So what is our conclusion about this discussion? From this 10 volt setting we can say only 50% of the winding is protected. When we had 20 volt pickup, 0% winding was protected. We have 10 volt, 50% of the winding is protected because if fault occurs from neutral up to the 50% winding, voltage would not be sufficient to result in tripping of the relay. So if we keep on reducing the value of Vset, definitely the protected portion of the winding will keep on increasing. Let's say if I make the Vset equal to 5 volt, without any discussion, we can say that this setting would protect up to 75% of the winding. What does it mean? It means if fault occurs from 0, this neutral point, up to the 25% of the turns, so this fault in this section, that would not produce sufficient voltage to result in the tripping of the relay. But if fault will be from this 25 up to 100% turns, so this is the protected region, this is unprotected region. So 75% of the winding is protected. In order to protect the 100% winding, means even if fault occurs on the first turn of this generator winding, that should be protected by the relay. Obviously we will have to set Vset equal to 0 volt. But problem is we can't set this voltage relay to 0 volt. Reason because there will be some current or voltage across the primary of this grounding transformer even in normal condition of the generator. When there is no fault, that will be due to third harmonic, that will be due to unbalancing in the load, that will be due to unbalancing in the supply. So that will be a zero sequence current that would exist over there for even if the system is perfectly normal condition. So that's why we will have to set the pickup setting of this our voltage relay to some non-zero value. So this non-zero value will make some portion of this winding unprotected by this protection. This is the main theme. Now we want to set the V set of the relay in such a way that it is protecting 90% of the winding. Mean V set should be selected in such a way that if fault occurs from neutral point up to the 10% of the winding, only this portion should be unprotected, and if fault occurs from 10% up to 100%, this is protected portion. We want the setting of this relay in such a way that it is protecting 90% of the turns of these generators. I will leave this calculation, what should be the value of pickup, so that it is providing protection up to the 90%, means from 10% to the 100% of turn, that will make 90% of the winding. So student will do this calculation to find out the value of V set, so that relay is providing protection to the 90% of the turns. After doing this setting, protection of 90% winding, here student will have to perform the calculation for the selection of V pickup, what should be the value of V pickup for each case, and so on. For all these 5 cases for which they have calculated the grounding resistance, they will perform the calculation of V pickup and then set that V pickup into the relay setting and put a fault on the generator phase A and determine the tripping time and tripping voltage of the relay. Then student will describe their observation here in comment section. Thank you very much.